And I think when you go to sleep at night, a lot of people, you know what it is that you want.
You know.
But for some of those
You're
reasons,
scared.
you're scared.
You're scared of people's judgment.
Yeah, before you made it.
Yeah, you're scared of what people are going to think. Man, I pound on this. People are scared to take a financial step backwards for their happiness. It is almost unacceptable in almost all societies around the world, I get to travel a lot, to downsize your home. Sell your home or apartment and get a smaller one. That is like...
No.
Whereas for me, I've loved the last 20 years of my career where I do things and then do less versions of them because I need to save money for something. It's a very real thing for me. People are worried about what people perceive. You had a Lexus, now you have a Toyota. That's a problem.
It's down. Yeah.
Whereas for me, if we can ever eliminate that stigma in society, we will have a much happier world because then people will do that, save dollars to be able to go after their dream. I can't be a singer and do open mics and not make money. I've got to keep being this corporate executive. Well, you don't have to if you can downsize. But then imagine people with families. I have incredible empathy. If you're a mother or father and you're the breadwinner to the organization and you come home and now your kids have to share a room. Who wants to come home and see their 7 and 4-year-old go from their own rooms and a nice backyard and we're going to move to a neighborhood that might be not as nice, no backyard, and you're sharing a room? That is very challenging. The problem is, I think if someone is living unhappy, much bigger challenges are in front. Resentment, unhappiness, alcoholism, escapism in all sorts of different ways that tend to lead to problems.
You must get a lot of emails though from people who have tried this, like gotten over, if you have this job and you're having this career progression and the ladder, but suddenly they take the step out. I guess you get those emails too with people thanking you for inspiring them to do that. Like, what do they say? The people that actually downsized their homes.
Let me give you one that will surprise everybody. You know which email is most important of all those? The one that failed on trying to do the other thing and email me and thank me because they will never wonder what if. That's when I, watch this. See it?
Yeah.
That is when I knew I had something. When I was doing it. See, this is why I read my emails. I talk about things differently because I have a different communication style, but I talk about different things because I read my messages. So
you do it all yourself, I
do it all myself. I do it all because I need to synthesize it.
Yeah.
I can get data. My team can make it, but if my team presents it to me, they've looked at it first and vanillaed it down. I need to see it. I am surrounded because of the career that I've built for myself with very successful people in their 60s to 90s. That generation, a high percentage of them are deeply unhappy.
And why is that?
They burned bridges. They compromised their value systems.
For their success.
Correct. Money. Again, I want everybody here. I'm trying to make money. I want to buy the New York Jets. They're expensive. It's not the money part. It's that people were convinced that money would make them happy. Money's not the problem. The narrative is the problem. And that's why I'm passionate about changing the narrative. Doing what you love and living within the means of what that thing pays you, whether it's $50,000 or $50 million, is the game. You know how many people make $1 million a year very stressed right now because they overextended themselves? They bought a plane and a house and a second house and a third house and hard to get sneakers and watch, right? It's not about how much you make, it's how much you save. It's how you manage it. And most importantly, your relationship with it. And most importantly, your relationship with your own values and who you are. Money is not going to make you happier. It's just a proven fact at this point. We have to stop acting like it does.
When are you going to buy the New York Jets?
I'll leave you with a bomb. The realest answer, and I've never said this publicly, is...
Next week.
No, I wish. It's funny. I really believe it's going to happen, which is crazy because a million things have to happen besides even the insane wealth creation, which is going to be very hard. I hope it's as late as possible.
Yeah, because what's next?
Well, listen, I want to win a Super Bowl and all that. I'm excited to operate, but what I would say is if God came down and she or he said to me, how do you want it? I would say, give it to me with 10 years to live and let me get one Super Bowl in that window. Not because of anything else, but because the process of trying to get them is the great joy of my professional life. The thrill of the hunt is so much more fun than the kill.
Yeah. That's what you always realize when you stand there.
It's so real for me. It's so real for me.
Would you say that you felt like more happy when you've been in those real grind moments than in almost any other?
It's not even a comparison. I actually struggle with my notoriety. I'm in the point of my career where it's hard for me to do something and like universally everyone thinks it's not going to be successful. That's my favorite. I love when the world's against me. As a matter of fact, the NFT thing's pretty fun.
I was going to say, defense must have had a lot of that.
Of course, but then it was so successful. But now NFTs as a macro has got pressure, and I'm like, this is good. I like it. So, yeah.
Is there something that you believe that most others do not at all?
Yes. I believe nice guys finish first in business.
And
the world doesn't. Most people don't think there's a place, like they think you get run over.
No.
I think people that say, and by the way, here come the comments already. Gary, that's bullshit. I'm a nice guy. I actually love talking to people who claim that I'm wrong. When I talk to them for like 7 minutes, there's only 2 things that happen. 9 out of 10 of them have this one of 2 situations. One, they are so afraid of conflict.
With you?
In their scenarios.
Oh.
They're scared. They don't have the ability to be candorous. Thus, they get walked all over, but it's really on them because of their fear of being candorous. They're not authentic. And they fear conflict. And they can't be candorous. That is not the other person's fault. And believe it or not, I'm great as a public figure with candor, but I've had my struggles operating in my life. Or number 2, they're manipulating. There's a lot of people who love to say they're nice. Do you know how many people try to do nice things for me? Gary, I see you're flying to Sweden. I'd love to pick you up at the airport and drive you to the hotel. I'm like, that's very, very nice. But what I know what that email is actually saying is, I'd like to pitch you my business or ask you for advice for 45 minutes after an 8-hour flight on the way to, and I'm very flattered, but let's call a spade a spade. That wasn't a kind act. That was an act grounded in, I'll do this because I want to ask you this. There's so many people that will do something for you with full intent of asking for something far greater on the other end. That's not kindness, that's manipulation. So I tell the nice guys and gals that don't believe in what I'm saying to really look inside themselves and understand, are you manipulating to an outcome you want? Are you lacking the ability to be candorous, thus rendering the other person to not even know what's happening because you're keeping it inside? Or are you actually finishing last as a nice guy? There's also this part. You may be nice, you also might not be talented. Like, and what does finishing first and last mean? My point of nice guys finish first is you will feel good about yourself